500 years, the grass hut has changed. But it was the same grass hut, the same courtyard, everything. And he was feeling so much ecstasy, having just seen all the holy places of Navadvip Dham. And everyone was lying down. He was lying, it was a warm night, so he just slept in the open sky. And he just was kind of thinking, looking around, and say, here the Supreme Lord, the Lord of Lords, the Lord of all the universes, Jagannath, Shri. Then he kind of dozed. And he had a vision where Lord Chaitanya came and he was taken up into the air over Mayapur. And he could see Mayapur, Navadvip Dham from an aerial view. But now instead of seeing the simple village, he saw a beautiful jeweled city. He saw the spiritual world manifested all around from the internal energy of the Supreme Lord. And he saw there in the center, there was a golden wall with jewels. And inside there was a personal area of Lord Chaitanya, and everyone around, they were all spiritual beings. There flew in and he saw it's a beautiful temple. And there was some kind of a dome or canopy or something. And then he was seeing on the altar, and he had like this 7 different visions. Visions of Lord Chaitanya and Vishnu Priya and Lakshmi Priya. He woke up, then again he went into another vision and he saw the Panchatattva. And then he saw with the Panchatattva there's a huge kirtan going on in this temple. And there were devotees coming from the east, the west, the north, and the south. He saw Vaikuntha, he saw different parts of the universe, all manifested, all opulence here in Mayapur, Navadvip Dham. And he could see that what we can see with our eyes of skin and flesh, it's just a covering. But spiritually what is here, we may not be able to see unless we get that special mercy like Srinivasacharya got. Unless we get that spiritual vision. But even without seeing it, we can feel it. We can experience it. Srila Prabhupada said one of the great opulences we get by visiting Mayapur Dham. This is the Adharya Dham, the holy abode of mercy of the Lord. Here the Lord gives out profuse mercy to His devotees. Unlimited mercy. Without distinguishing this one deserves it, this one doesn't. Everyone He gives the mercy. Whoever wants it. And what is the greatest mercy we can get is the seed of desire, of intense yearning to be with the Lord and to serve the Lord, to serve Lord Chaitanya. Someone may say, oh, Lord Chaitanya is very nice, interesting. But to really want to know Lord Chaitanya, to want to serve Him, to have that desire, how wonderful it would be to be in the Sankirtan party with Nityananda, with Gauranga. Gauranga! Nityananda! With Advaita, with Gadadhar, with Srivas, with all of them, all the associates. How wonderful it would be. Srila Prabhupada said we can get that desire very easily here in Mayapur Navadvip Dham. One can start to feel a separation to be with the Lord. And that desire pulls us like a magnet back to the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan, back to the association of the Lord. We'll get what we want by the Lord's mercy. Participating in this Mayapur segment of the festival, the World Hare Krishna Centennial Convention, We'll all get this mercy from our Lord, Sisi Nitai Gaur, to have that intense desire to serve them and to take that force with all of you, all over the world.
25 years. He is one of the first ones to come here and reside here. Only he knows under what conditions he survived here and how he managed. So he has imbibed so much spirit of Navadvip Dham and Gauranga. So we thank you very much for giving us that vision and welcoming us back home at Mayapur. One devotee during...
And you all are playing your part in actually helping to bring the spiritual world in the material arena. If we evaluate so much of what Lord Chaitanya has given us, literally a door out of the material world to the spiritual. And there's no greater places than these kind of environments, where not only do you have the door, but you have the constant windows. This place you can see, Mayapur Dham, it's like another planet, because it's not really the material world. When His Holiness Jayapataka Swami first came here, this was a bush, this was a swamp, practically. And such devotees, through their intense devotion, through their intense appreciation of Sadhu, Guru, and wanting to see Shastra unfold so that we can live it at this present time, they have done such wonderful activities. Lokanath Maharaj, we've all had a chance to have him in our different countries, and his presence and his team helps us all to focus so vigorously on the centennial and to focus so much more on the appreciation of sadhus and what we can do collectively in glorifying Srila Prabhupada. It was so wonderful hearing from the Padayatris. You know, there are different types of tirthas. Just as you're here and you're going to be visiting so many holy places. And these places are holy because Krishna, in his different manifestations, has actually walked, been here, his devotees that have come from the spiritual world, and they have literally taken prasadam, they have literally walked and danced, and they have literally purified the ethers as well as literally the dust. So we're all going to have chances in the coming days and coming weeks here as well as in Vrindavan in visiting so many of these places. And as we absorb ourselves in the past times that have taken place, and as we absorb ourselves presently in the consciousness of those environments, then to that extent, those environments will become alive for us. These pastimes are eternal. They are going on always. And according to the quality of our devotion, we're able to be blessed and literally to become a part of such spiritual cosmology. We are practicing now for what we will be doing eternally. So the quality of that practice determines how fast we are preparing ourselves for the eternal. But as astounding as that, I was thinking how astounding it is for those devotees who were blessed with the experience to visit all of these different places. How much they are literally imbibing so much potency and blessings from being able to go to such places, to render service in such a way. So similarly, these padayatris, when you think about all the places that they have walked to, all the people that they have brought to allow them to, they have allowed Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, these people to be able to get their association. How many people have seen Srila Prabhupada, taken prasadam, and heard the holy names? So, if we hear about getting the dust of the feet of the devotees, now don't trip the devotees because you may grab their feet, but there is such dust here, and these great souls who have been doing such work. You're a little far away, but even their physiognomy is so effulgent. You see these devotees who have been engaged in such activity because of their level of absorption. So let us all take advantage of these tirthas, holy places. Now there is a danger, because every time you have something that's very powerful, if it's used properly, you get full benefit. But if it's used improperly, then there is also consequence. So in these tirthas, it is a wonderful chance to accelerate your devotion many times more than you would normally have such opportunity. Not only are you in the tirthas, but you are associating with so many devotees from so many places from around the world. And we want to congratulate you all, as well as our padayatras, because you have also performed amazing yatra, as Lakota Maharaj is saying in the recent Padayatra newsletter about air yatra versus padayatra. So you have performed the air yatra, but not like the karmis. You know, the karmis, they are traveling, and they travel, they arrange their schedule in such a way for the vacations. So they go to Hollywood, they go to the casinos, they go to Disneyland. These are their pilgrimage places. And so they're always thinking, when will I get a chance to go there? On my way here, I had to stop in Switzerland and a few places in France. And I was seeing so many people. They had so much load, they were carrying so much, and some of them were carrying with their skis. They were going to Switzerland to ski. They were coming from different places in the world and getting disappointed because there wasn't quite the snow that they expected. So they were so much in a meditation from their countries, from their homes, going to a place to do what? To increase sense gratification culture. But we have been in meditation. Some of you had to work very hard. Some of you from different countries where it was very, very difficult for you to come here. Like some of our devotees in the third world, I know some of our devotees from Africa, where the average salary is about $300 or $400 a year. A ticket for $2,000 is like 4 years' salary. So some of you have had such experiences. You've thought a lot, paid a lot to come. But what you have done, what you have paid is very little to what you can receive from such environments. So we remind ourselves about the tirtha, the individual tirthas, that is the devotees, the Jews. Each devotee is like a garland. It's like every day we put garlands on the deities. We see right chance to carry more and more of the transcendental consciousness of the spiritualized dust of the association of what the nourishment that you're hearing as well as you're taking, that you're accumulating that and carrying it. Because it takes bhakti, it produces more bhakti, like an explosion. As we have the kirtans, the bhajans, as we have the chanting, the processions, we want to chant in such a way that we remind ourselves that we are now in such sacred place. These are some of the most sacred places within many universes. Not only on this planet, but within many universes. So somehow or other, by some causeless mercy, we've all been given a chance to be able to associate in such environments. So that means we want to maximize what can come from that environment. Just like when Srila Prabhupada once was in New York and the kirtan was going on and he was smiling, sitting from the Vyasa seat. Later devotees inquired what was he smiling for, and he mentioned how Narada Muni had come to the kirtan. So we want to chant and associate and hear in such a way that when we say, all glories to the assembly of devotees, that we are not just talking about the devotees that we are physically able to see, but when we say all glories to the assembly of devotees, especially when we're in the holy dhams, we are saying all praises to all of those personalities who are with us in our midst, who are watching us, who are encouraging us, who are waiting for us to mature more and more and more so that we can literally be able to have full cognizance of their particular presence. So as we went to Yoga Pit, and we'll be going to wonderful places where Lord Chaitanya, who is none other than Krishna himself, who has come in the most magnanimous presentation. Because you've done something tremendous in this lifetime to not only come in contact with this Vedic connection, but many of you have taken initiation, and now you have literally become involved under the shelter of this Vaishnava system. And now you have been literally involved where you are being able to move through environments where the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself has come and has opened up doors, has opened up windows, and now is calling us all Jiva Jago to come forward. Hare Krishna.
Om Agnatimirandasya Giranjana Salakayam Chakshu Saminritam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sravitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Giramayam Dadati Svavadantikam Nama Om Vishnuvaraya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nyavasesa Sanyavari Vaskita Desarani Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Adaita Gadara Srivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So, my God brothers have asked me to serve some function in Srila Prabhupada Centennial, increasing Srila Prabhupada consciousness. It's something that doesn't require so many big numbers, filling big stadiums, doing 100 padayatras, creating so many things like that. And I'm not qualified to do those things, but I can try to share with you some of the experiences that I had with Srila Prabhupada. So I've been put in charge of this pedal called Increasing Prabhupada Consciousness. So here in the holy Dham of Sri Mayapur Dham, we are in the position of attaining the perfection of life. In 1973, Srila Prabhupada was here, and the Ganga was way back, and you had to walk through the rice paddies to get to the Ganga. And one morning, Prabhupada went out for his walk, and we were fortunate enough to be with him. So he walked across the road, out the front gate, across the road, to this country he loved. He called this country the place of his worship. Bombay was his office, Vrindavan was his home, and Sri Mayapur Dham was this place of worship. So we walked out the front gate, across the road, and we proceeded to walk across the rice paddies. We walked all the ways to the Ganga, and then we turned left, and we started to walk parallel to the Ganga. The sun was rising, it was early in the morning. We had all taken our bath. Prabhupada was usually going on his walk by this time at 6 a.m. And we walked along the Ganga, following the curvature of the Ganga. And Srila Prabhupada looked at us and he said, "Let us take our bath." This was a completely spontaneous thing, because Srila Prabhupada usually took his bath when he came back from his walk after breakfast. But today he said, "Let us take our bath." Smiled at us, and we all said, "Well, Srila Prabhupada, we don't have any gumshoes. We don't have anything to wear," because we had been instructed that if you go to swim in the Ganga, you should wear proper covering. Sri Prabhupada looked at us, and he looked around, and he said, "Nobody's here. You can go when you're coping." So we all stripped down and jumped in the river, and Srila Prabhupada watched us, all his sons, frolicking in the river. And then Srila Prabhupada proceeded to take his dhoti off, and one of the sannyasis gave him a top piece, and he majestically waded into the Ganga, and then he covered his eyes and his nose and his ears and plunged into the Ganga and watched us as we were frolicking around in the river. And he went back up to the banks, put on his tilak, and proceeded to say his Gayatri as we were all playing in the Ganga in front of our father, our spiritual father. So we all felt very elated to be part of that transcendental pastime of Srila Prabhupada swimming in the Ganga. So we got out and we got dressed, and Prabhupada stood up. This was going on. It was very casual. There was no rush. And then Srila Prabhupada began walking, and he walked a few paces down beside the Ganga, and then he turned back to us. And he looked at us, and he looked around, and he said, "This is the perfection of life. To take your bath in the Ganga at Sri Mayapur Dham with the assembly of devotees." So we have this opportunity. We are here in Mayapur, the Ganga is there awaiting us, and we have the assembly of devotees. So we have the opportunity to experience the perfection of life. So we should take this opportunity at this place that Srila Prabhupada gave to us. He gave us Sri Mayapur. This is one of his gifts for us. He could have been like one of the uptown swamis and opened up an ashram in Switzerland or Beverly Hills or Brazil or someplace like that, but he didn't. He came here in 1970, and there was two little Muslim farmers, Muhammad Ali Sheikh and his brother. They were squatting beside the roadside out there. They didn't want to sell the land, but that year was a particularly bad crop. The Ganga. He did all the things that you're going to do, and you're going to go on parikrama, and this is Prabhupada's parikrama. It's not something we have invented. It has very much historical significance from the time of when Nityananda took Jiva Goswami on this parikrama. But beside that, Srila Prabhupada has encouraged us all to walk through the holy grounds of Sri Mayapur Dham. So this centennial year, we should always be thinking of Srila Prabhupada. Whenever we are worshiping the deities, we should not think, "Oh, I'm worshiping the Lord." No, we should think, "I am assisting Srila Prabhupada in worshiping the Lord." Whenever we are preaching, distributing books, it's Prabhupada's books, and we are assisting him. We are letting Prabhupada preach by distribute those books. When we are chanting in kirtan, this is Prabhupada's kirtan, and we are simply assisting Prabhupada. We're participating in Prabhupada's kirtan. And I make this proposal. We all know that when we chant Hare Krishna, we are praying to the Lord. "Oh my Lord, oh the energy of the Lord, please engage me in your devotional service." Well, I propose that this year and in the future we should think, "Oh my Lord, oh the energy of the Lord, please engage me in the assistance of Srila Prabhupada's devotional service." And in this, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I hope everybody will be more and more Srila Prabhupada conscious as the festival continues, and I'll try to do my part to fulfill the orders of my God brothers. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
I'm really expecting you to come to Italy. I mean, it's what? It's not like
Vishnu Bhakti Pratidevi Satyavasai Namo Namaha. Vrindaye Tulsidevaya Priya Keshavasacha Vishnu Bhakti Pratidevi Satyavasai Namo Namaha.